Namaste students. Let us start with the next chapter, that is issue of shares. See, we have done all the chapters of our partnership series. Now let us start with the first chapter of company accountancy, that is issue of shares. There is a lot of theory portion given in your book from this chapter, but fortunately theory doesn't come much in the exams. Okay, you need to understand the practicals thoroughly, because surely one 8 marks full-fledged question is going to come from this chapter and one small question also. So from the point of view of the examination, this chapter is very important. In this chapter, like in the beginning, the meaning and features of company is explained, which you have done in class 11 also. Difference between public company and private company is given, that also you have done. Then the meaning of shares, the types of shares, that is preference shares, equity shares, everything you have done in class 11. So this much topic is already you have done in class 11. So this what is all given. We are going to start with the further topics. So that like those topics you may read and you can understand it very well. So now the main concern is on the accounting treatment which we have to follow when we want to issue the shares. First of all, let me put it formally that shares are issued by a company. Okay, why a company issues a share? So that they can get some money, and that like from that money they can run the business. Basically, to collect the money from the public, shares are issued to them. But shares are not only issued to public, rather shares are also issued to employees. Shares are also issued to some private agencies or some of your friends or your relatives also. Like in class 12, we are only concerned with when we are going to issue these shares to the public. We have to do the accounting treatment of the same. We don't have to do the accounting treatment of this, that we are going to issue the shares to the employees or we are going to issue the shares to our friends or relatives. No, we are concerned with the accounting treatment of only this case when shares are issued to the general public. Still, just for some recap, I would like to explain you the meaning of the word share. When the total capital of the company is divided into small denominations, small parts, so one small part is known as share, because we are going to divide the total capital of the company into small parts. So when that one small part is known as shares. Fine. So when we issue shares to the public, like in the previous era, like in the past, we used to give these shares in the form of physical certificates. Like if anyone would like to buy the shares, then they have to give money to the public and then they get a share certificate which is in the form of paper. But now shares are traded in stock exchanges in the form of digital way. Like in electronic way, the shares certificates are issued to the public. Now you can see I have written many things on the board. Let me start with the first point. Private placement of shares. The accounting treatment of private placement of shares is given by Section 42 of Companies Act 2013. Private placement of shares means when shares are issued to our friends or to our relatives, when we are sure of this thing that we can easily get the money if we sell the shares to our friends or relatives. We don't need to buy shares to the public to collect the money. They may either sell their shares to some non-banking financial institutions like Unit Trust of India, or there are many such non-banking financial companies to whom such shares have been issued. It means instead of issuing the shares to the general public like you and I, when a company, just to get the money, they issue the shares to their friends, to their relatives or to such non-banking financial organizations. And they are sure of this thing, that they are sure that they will definitely get some money if they even if they sell the shares to their friends or relatives. Fine. So this accounting treatment we don't have to do. It's not in our syllabus. Next is sweat equity shares. The meaning of sweat is very, do you know the meaning of this word sweat? Sweat equity shares is always given to the employees. Fine. Why do we give them, like, why do we give shares to our employees? Just to make them feel recognized, just to motivate them. So we are selling them shares at a price which is less than the market price. It means if I am selling shares to the public, general public, at rupees 100, then I will sell the same shares to my employees at rupees 40 or rupees 50. Fine. So such shares are known as sweat equity shares. Entries of sweat equity shares will not come to you in your paper or like in your examination, but the accounting treatment is same, which we have to follow in the case when shares are issued to the public. Fine. But the question based on sweat equity share will not come, but the accounting treatment will be same as that of the shares issued to the public. Next is public subscription of shares. So on this topic only the whole chapter is based, that is public subscription of shares, so that we are going to do in detail later on. Next is for consideration other than cash. See, at times what happen that you buy some machinery or any non-current asset from a person. Now instead of making cash payment to like that particular person, you give shares also. Fine. Means instead of making payment through cash or through check, we are giving shares to the person from whom we have purchased the asset. Fine. So this is known as for consideration other than cash. So the accounting treatment of consideration other than cash will be a part of this chapter only, so that we are going to do. Now, I would like to tell you one thing, that whenever we sell the share in the market, first of all we define its value. The value at which the share is sold in the market is known as the face value of the share. Suppose if I say that the value of the share is rupees 100 and we are going to sell the same share in the market at rupees 100, it means face value of the share becomes equal to its market value. Got it? It means we can sell the share at its market value also, or at its face value also, or we can sell the share at its at more than the face value also. Means the face value of the share is rupees 100 and we are going to sell it at rupees 120. Fine. So 120 is the market value, 100 is the face value. So whenever we issue shares in the market, we need to first of all check the value, that whether the value of the share is equal to its face value or more than its face value. I hope this point is clear. I repeat it once again. The value at which shares are sold in the market is, let us start with the public subscription of shares. Means the main topic on which our chapter is based. See, it's a very long process to issue the share to the general public. You need, first of all, I would like to make you understand few terms. The first term is, or rather I just want to recall you. The first term is Memorandum of Association. You are well versed with this term. Next is Articles of Association. You already know about this term also. Now let me introduce a new term, that is face value of the share. Face value means the actual value of the share only. If I say the value of my share is rupees 100 and I am going to sell the same share in the market at rupees 100, it means that the face value of the share is equal to its market value. If I say the face value of the share is rupees 100 and the company is going to sell that the value the same share in the market at rupees 150, it means that the company is selling the share at more than its book value, more than its face value. Then why the company is able to sell the share at more than its face value? Because of the good reputation of the company. And the 50 rupees extra which the company has earned is known as the securities premium. Fine. If the value of share is rupees 100, you sell it at 100, it means the par value or the face value of the share is equal to its market value. It means shares are issued at par. Okay, but if the face value of share is rupees 100 and the market value is 150, it means that you are selling the shares at more than its book value. And the company is able to do so when the reputation of the company is very good in the market and when the demand of the shares of the company is too much. So in that case, the company is getting extra rupees 50, which is known as its securities premium. We are going to discuss each and everything in detail in this chapter. Now, the next is, this is the process of issuing the shares. The first is, you have to issue a prospectus. See, when you seek admission in the school, that time you must have purchased the prospectus of the school. In that prospectus, what was mentioned? Who is the principal? Who all are the part of the management? What is the fee structure? Fine. By when, like in how many installments you have to pay the fee, about the history of the school, achievements of the school. Same way, just like school, a company also issues a prospectus. Prospectus means a kind of document in which where the company is located, where is its registered office, where are the branch offices, who is the managing director, who is the CEO, how many shares the company have issued, like many things, like the history of the company. Each and every fact about the company is mentioned in a document which is known as prospectus. It means that whenever you sell the shares to public, you have to first of all issue a prospectus. In the prospectus, this thing is also mentioned that if you are interested in buying the shares of our company, then in which bank you have to deposit the money. One form is also attached in the prospectus only, which we have to fill if we want to buy the shares of a company. Just like if you want to seek the admission in the school, in the prospectus you must have seen one form which you need to fill, right? So the process is more or less same. It means prospectus is issued whenever we are going to sell the shares to the public, because public is not aware about our company much. The public doesn't know about the achievements of the company. So just to inform them, we issue one prospectus. But in case when we are selling the shares through private placement, means when you are selling the shares to your friends or to your relatives, then you don't issue prospectus. Rather, you issue one more statement that is known as statement in lieu of prospectus. Means in case of private placement of shares, a company doesn't issue prospectus, a company issues another document which is known as statement in lieu of prospectus. Now, suppose if I want to buy the shares of your company, then first of all, what do I have to do? First of all, I have to purchase the prospectus. In this prospectus, I will read about the achievements, history, everything about your company. If I feel like purchasing, what will I do? I will fill that form which is attached in the prospectus. Fine. But to buy the prospectus, I have to make some payment to the company also. Like you must have done the payment to the school. Like 500 rupees is the prospectus fee of the school. It means to buy the prospectus, to buy that form which you intend to fill, which you want to fill, you need to give some money to the school. Same way, if I want to buy the shares of your company, then first of all I have to buy the prospectus. Fine. And for buying the prospectus, I need to give some money to the company, and that money is known as application money. Okay, the money which you pay to the company for buying the prospectus is known as application money. And application money should be 25% of the value of share. 25% of the face value of share. It means if the face value of the share is ₹100, then the value of application money should be 25 rupees. So it means 25 rupees I have to pay if I want to buy the prospectus of the company. Now after buying the prospectus, what I did? I fill the application form, and after filling the application form, I give the same form to the company. Now, after receiving the application, the company will make the allotment. Allotment means the company will give me this assurity that yes, your application has been accepted and now you are the shareholder of the company. You got my point? But this will happen only when company wants to make me the shareholder. If the company doesn't want to make me the shareholder, then what company will do? Company will refund the money to me and will give a letter of regret. Got it? If the company wants to give me the share, the company will give me the letter of applicant or the letter of placement. If the the company doesn't want to give me the share, then the company will refund my money, will return my money, and will issue a letter of regret to me. It means that it's not necessary that if you apply in a company for, or if you are intent to buy the shares of a company, surely the company gives you the share. The company may not gives you the share. Fine. So first of all, the company, you have to buy the prospectus, you have to pay the application money, and then company will make the allotment. Means the company will give you the permission that yes, you can. Now, suppose if the company has issued the shares to you, the company has allotted the shares to you. Now it depends upon the company that whether the company wants to ask, whether the company wants to take the full 100 rupees from you at this point, or the company wants to take the full 100 rupees from you in installments. If the company doesn't want to take the full money from you at once, then the company will call the money from you in installments. And what are those installments? First call and final call. Those installments are first call and final call. Now, first call and final call should be called, means first, like the accounting treatment of first and final call was given by, like, should be mentioned under the articles of association of the company. And if you are not making articles of association, then you have to make table F of Companies Act 2013. Now, what is this first call and second call? This is just the installments of the total amount. Now, there should be gap of at least 1 month between first call and second call. It means that if you are calling first call in July, then at least you need to call the second call in the month of, you may say, September. 1 month gap at least should be there. And 14 days notice also you need to give to your shareholders to make the payment of first call and second call. Now let me make it little easier for you. Suppose the value of the share is rupees 100, and if you want to buy the shares of the company, then first of all you need to buy the prospectus and you need to pay the application money. Fine. In the application money means the cost of prospectus itself, you may call it, because to buy the prospectus you need to pay the application money, which should be 25% of the value of the share. It means 25% is the value of application. Now, how much is remaining? 75 is left, no? Now it's up to you whether you want to call rupees 75 altogether or you want to call rupees 75 in installments. Let's say I called rupees 30 at the time of allotment. Now how much is left? 45 rupees are left, because 100 minus 25 application minus 30 allotment. So 45 rupees is left. So the company may call rupees 20 on first call and may call rupees 25 on final call. So now how many installments are there? Now there are 4 installments: application, allotment, first call and final call. A company may call the whole money at allotment only. The company may say, we don't want to give you any kind of installments, give us whole money. Then in that case, no entry for first call and second call will be passed, as there are no calls at all. But in case if the company is asking the money in installments, then it's application, allotment, first call and final call. So you need to understand the question that way. Hopefully the theory portion is clear to you. Now come to one more term, and that term is share capital. Share capital क्या होता है? See, capital means the total money which is invested in the business, right? So the total money of the business, of the company, is known as capital of the company. But the company has get this capital by issuing the shares, so it is known as share capital. Suppose Ria has also purchased the shares of the company, Payal has also purchased, Kanika has also purchased, Harshu has also purchased. So in that case, we can't make Harshu's capital account or Ria's capital account or Kanika's capital account, because there are not 2 or 3 shareholders, rather there are number of shareholders. So what we basically do, we open one joint account for everyone, that is share capital account. So share capital account represents the total number of shares purchased by all the shareholders or the total capital which they have invested in the business. It's not feasible to open the account of each and every person, so we make one consolidated account, that is share capital account. Now share capital is of various types. First is authorized share capital, issued share capital, subscribed share capital, called up share capital and paid up share capital. Let us start with authorized. Authorized share capital means the maximum amount of capital which a company is authorized to issue during its lifetime. मीन्स जिस अमाउंट से ज़्यादा आप इशू कर ही नहीं सकते अपनी कैपिटल को, दैट अमाउंट ऑफ मनी इज नोन एज ऑथोराइज्ड कैपिटल. इट मीन्स कि अगर आपके मेमोरेंडम ऑफ एसोसिएशन में ये चीज़ मेंशन है दैट the total capital of a company will be rupees 50 lakh only throughout its lifetime, means more than 50 lakh rupees a company cannot issue during its lifetime, then it is known as authorized capital. And authorized capital is always mentioned in the memorandum of association. Now let's say out of 50 lakh you want to issue only rupees 13 lakh. Fine, then what will you do? You will divide this 13 lakh into equal denominations. Fine, and one denomination is of rupees 100. Fine, it means you need to issue 13,000 shares to the public. If you want to issue rupees 13 lakh from the public, or if you want to get rupees 13 lakh from the public, then at least you have to issue 13,000 shares. Got it? So 13,000 into 100 is equal to 13 lakh. Now here equal denominations are 13,000 and one denomination is of rupees 100. So the value of share is rupees 100. So likewise 13 shares you are issuing to the public. So the part of the authorized capital which have been issued to the public is known as issued capital. The part of authorized capital which have been issued to the public is known as issued capital. Now suppose you have issued rupees 13,000 but the public has not purchased the whole 13,000 shares. Rather public has purchased only 12,000 shares. You issued 13,000 but public has applied for only 12,000 shares. So 12,000 into 100 means 1,20,000 becomes subscribed capital. Public is not interested in purchasing all 13,000 shares, so they have purchased only 12,000 shares of rupees 100 each. So 1,20,000 becomes the subscribed capital. Now you have called rupees 100 in installments. You have called only rupees 60 yet out of 100. It means आपने 12,000 shares पर just 60 rupees अब तक कॉल किए हैं. कॉल किए means you have informed your shareholders to pay rupees 60 out of 100. So your called up capital becomes 7,20,000. And 40 rupees you have not called yet. So 40 rupees becomes uncalled capital. So called up capital means the part of the value of the share which you have asked the shareholders to give you. Like here the value of share is 100. You have asked the shareholders to give you rupees 60 but they have purchased 12,000 shares. So 12,000 into 60 means 7,20,000 becomes the total value of the shares. Called up capital. Now suppose the shareholders, all the shareholders have paid whole amount, means you called for 7,20,000 shares and they have given you 7,20,000 complete. So this becomes called paid up capital. Called up capital is from the point of view of the company, because company only can call or the company only can ask the shareholder to pay. But paid up capital will be from the point of view of shareholder, because we can only tell the because ultimately the shareholder has to pay the money. So paid up capital means that, like suppose if you call for 7,20,000, if they paid whole rupees 7,20,000 to you, so 7,20,000 becomes paid up capital. Suppose if they pay only rupees 7 lakh to you, then 7 lakh becomes paid up capital. Because it may happen that कि जितना आपने कॉल किया है, it may happen कि वो आपको उस अमाउंट से कम नहीं पे कर सकते. Fine. So अब जो unpaid amount रह गया, like here unpaid amount is 20,000. What do we call that? That we'll see later on in the chapter. But till the time we need to understand the theory which I have explained. That the shares means the total value of the company when divided into equal denomination. One denomination is known as shares. Now shares are of many types. You know very well. I won't explain it. Then after issue, like there are various methods of issuing the shares: private, sweat, public. I've explained you. Consideration other than cash also, like we'll be discussing in this chapter only. Sweat equity and private we are not concerned with, but if I go for public subscription, then there's a complete method. First of all, we have to issue the prospectus. People have to buy the prospectus by paying the application money. If we accept their application, we allot them the shares. If we don't accept, we refund the money to them. We can make the allotment only when we get 90% subscription. Now it's up to us whether we want to, call the money at once, means total rupee 100, or we want to call the money in installments. That depends upon us. If we are calling the money in installments, then in that case, the name of the installment will be first call and second call. There will be at least interval of 1 month between both the calls. That way. And then, like I explained you about this thing, authorized capital issued and subscribed capitals, like capital also. One thing which is left is that suppose if you are not calling the entire money at once, rather you are calling the money in installments, and like in first call or second call, then जिस दिन आप allotment करते हैं उस date से at least 1 year के बीच में आपको पूरा money call करना पड़ेगा. Means entire amount to be called within 1 year from the date of allotment if you are calling the money in installments. So this is all about the theory concepts. Some more theory concepts are there, so that will do with the passage of time. Now let us start with the numericals. Thank you.